welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Money Monday, and we're here to open your mind. Good morning, y'all. We are here on Money Monday, and I just want to wish a happy Mother's Day weekend once again to all of our biological and non-biological mothers, because we all like to, shield others, and, we bring everybody into community, because that's what The Good Life is all about. We're going to start Monday morning off with, obviously, our partner in voting, Telly Medina. Good morning. Welcome to The Good Life. How are you?
Good morning. Happy belated Mother's Day to all of the mothers.
Oh, I thought you were just talking to me.
New Orleans and surrounding areas, and whoever listens to this show. It is always good to celebrate that.
Do you want to know what I did?
What did you do?
Or did I prompt you into that? Well, I spent the weekend with the New Orleans Rising Stars, and I have to give them a shout out because they won the YBOA Boys State Championship for the 6th grade. So shout out to New Orleans Rising Stars. I'm so proud of them. They put in the hard work every week, and it absolutely pays off. So I just want to give them a shout out because they are doing their thing on and off the court to make sure that they have their grades up and they do all their homework. They come to practice, get it done, and they put it down on the court. So shout out to them. Yay.
Definitely shout. I played in the YBA tournament a long time ago.
I was about to say currently. And also, I got taken out to brunch yesterday.
Okay. Who did that?
Aiden, and I didn't have to pay for a thing.
Wow.
I was like, oh, my child listens to Money Monday because he's been saving his money, y'all. Y'all better get your children started early.
So we've been asking him to save money so that he can invest and do something with his life, but he had to use it to take his mom out for Mother's Day. I guess that's a good investment, I guess.
You think? Well, he was very proud to be able to take me out and to take the bill because when the waitress brought the check back, when she came to pick it up, she didn't know who had paid. So when she brought the change back, she handed it to me, and I said, no, he paid for it. And she was like, oh my goodness, he paid for you. So, she kind of made a big deal about it for him, and he was just sitting there all proud. But, that's what it's all about. It's about, having that responsibility, which kind of goes into what exactly I want to talk about, because I was reading on learningtogive.org, which I think is a cool little site, learningtogive.org, hint, hint, learn to give. I was reading something on community responsibilities, and it goes on to say that there are individual duties or obligations to the community that include cooperation, respect, and participation. The concept goes beyond thinking and acting as individuals to common beliefs about shared interests and life. For instance, Telly, imagine this. A basic community responsibility is voting in elections. Imagine that. I'm just saying. Now, I'm just saying. They say each individual is part of a larger community, family, neighbors, tribe, village, city, county, parish, state, region, country, and in the world form a larger community in the life of every human being. At the same time, full human potential cannot be reached if individuality is suppressed as society as well. So that goes on to say that in free societies, there's a contrast and unavoidable tension between rights and responsibilities. Every right has a corresponding duty, i.e. U.S. Department of State. It is the responsibility of the individual to watch over a community to make sure that the standards are objective and beneficial to human life. Wait, I want to repeat that last sentence, and then I want to get your thoughts, Telly. It is the responsibility of the individual to watch over a community to make sure that standards are objective and beneficial to human life. Imagine that.
That's a lot, huh?
Things that make you go, That means I'm responsible to make sure that we all live in a better place, and you're responsible to make sure we all live in a better place, and everybody listening out there, and everybody has, a little piece of this pie? Really?
I think that's a big deal. And I mean, I guess one way we'll be able to look at what would happen if we didn't have police, right?
Oh, goodness.
I always think about it, what would happen if we didn't have police? And, at some point police are here in order to maintain order and civility and whatnot. But what I would suggest, you hear a lot about this vis-a-vis with the elections going on. In regard to who you should vote for president, does that person identify with you, blah, 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 blah. And I would like to say that, and I don't know who it was, this was a long time ago, maybe lieutenant governor's race, and I was with my friends Eric Torres and with Keith Pittman. And I think Keith, who is the older of us three, said something like, my expectation is for government to, and I don't know who's talking about it, maybe in a generic sense, is to, keep the lights on and pick up the trash. And he just was talking. And so within that, I can remember, as a young guy who was somewhat impressionable, who was looking at a big brother type, who said to themselves, I think what he meant was that, I'm responsible for my household, and my household needs to do well. But it reminded me that when I went to Valina C. Jones and I got in trouble once, how people knew about me being in trouble when there was no cell phones and there was this and that.
Yes.
And I can remember getting 2 whippings before I got home.
Yes.
Literally on Frenchman Street and one on the turn off of North Prince Street, 2 whippings before I got home. And then when I got home, my sister used to give me all my whippings. Not a shout out to my sister Renee Warren. Happy Mother's Day. I love you, baby, but she did give me all my whippings. But I can remember the responsibility of the community as a whole.
Right.
I am giving the commencement address at McMain on the 19th coming up. It's going to be at Xavier, and I'm very proud.
Wow.
It is a monumental thing for me.
Yes.
But I talk about one of the stories that I'll tell within the speech is Telly, 11th grade year, made a very stupid decision to say a curse word towards a teacher and almost got put out of McMain.
Wow.
Big deal. I knew better. Before I made it to my mother's house, Mr. Eames, who was the assistant principal, Ms. Bodie, who worked for Mr. Eames, I don't know, she just used to slap you in the head. Shout out to Coach Darius Mims, who is the girls basketball coach at Warren Eastern now, who absolutely ran me to death and made me never remember. So I'm saying that there were 5 people before I made it to my mother's house. And when she looked at what happened outside of the basketball team beating me to death, and we won't talk about that part, but there was a responsibility among the community to make sure that you know better and that you will never do anything this stupid again. And it never happened again. I'm saying as a collective, if we make a decision about what is important for us, yes, there's structural racism. Yes, black folk don't have enough money. Yes, we need to pass pay equity in Baton Rouge because it only makes sense for Eileen to get the same amount of money that I do so that she can raise Aiden and I can raise Stella June.
For real.
But with that said, when people say that they long for old, it usually sounds like white folks saying that old times were better, but it wasn't necessarily better for black people. But when we were facing all those injustices, it seems that we had a collective, we need to get the right to vote. We need to unionize. We need to put forward African-American men to be seen in the right light. And so I am saying that I realize that everyone wasn't raised on Hunters Field by T. Gully and Jerome Smith, a.k.a. Big Duck, and Big Ike, in order to, talk about what is dope, dope is poison, that who's the man that used dope, a dead man. Those things that I still remember from when I was 10 years old. I'm saying that we have to be able to commit to one another that if Eileen does better and Telly does better and Nakisha and Percy and all those different individuals do better, then it's better for Aiden in the long term and in the short term.
Absolutely.
And so I think, that's the thing that we're talking about.
Absolutely, because, citizenship today absolutely 100% requires individuals be more knowledgeable of public problems, but more importantly, have the capacity to act together toward their solutions. And I really want to drop that, act together toward their solutions. That doesn't mean fight amongst each other. That doesn't mean point fingers. That means put all that aside. Let's come together with what we agree upon. Let's create a solution that we can move forward on and do that. We can argue all day long. We can argue for 5, 10, 25 years. But unless we find common ground that we can move forward on, we're not doing the community very much good. Voluntary actions by private citizens working together to right injustices changes directions and pursues benefits for the common good. And it's noted throughout history. Let me give you a list. I went through this for y'all. Abolition of slavery, women's suffrage, public education, community hospitals, the civil rights movement, women's movement, environmental movement, gay rights movement, the organization of migrant workers. And these are just, a couple to name some. But of course, we all remember one of the major movements and the leaders that achieved great fame from that, which is obviously Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But he brought people together for something that they could find common ground on. Of course, there were other issues, right? I'm sure there were many other issues, but he said, you know what? Let's work on this one, because if we all focus on one and move that forward and get that taken care of, how much greater of a force could we be? And it's not saying that we're forgetting about the rest, but if we can focus and put one foot in front of the other with one, and then we get that accomplished, okay, well, let's go back to the drawing board. Well, what's next? And let's move that forward. That system seems to work a little better than pointing fingers. Telly?
It does. And what I'll say is, these are not, things that are out of character for individuals that we see each and every day. Give you a real life example. Last week, we experienced a tragedy with a friend of both of ours,
yes.
Corey and AJ Scott, who lost their 1-year-old child. Big deal. We are still in prayer with them, checking on them each and every day.
Absolutely.
After the funeral on that night, Corey left at 7 p.m. to drive because his AAU team had a game coming up the next day.
Oh.
I said to him, Corey, do you think this is the right time for this? And his response was, my boys need me. That is common good. That is selfless. That is as much pain as that individual is going through. It is important to continue to support young black men. Remember on last year, and it's for two reasons. On last year, when my mother passed, we had basketball practice twice that week, and Telly Jr. had to play on the day of the funeral. And Jeffrey Carter, who a lot of folks know, his dad is also a minister over at Franklin Avenue Baptist Church. He said, you sure you're up for practice? And the one thing is, my mother was saying, one monkey don't stop no show. The second portion of that is that for Corey and for me, as much as you think that Aiden needs the coaches, clearly the coaches also need Aiden. Absolutely. And so do the parents, because it allows us to stay grounded. It allows us to stay connected. I don't want to have a time to go by that Telly Jr. or Byron or Aiden is experiencing a tragedy in their mind of something that they're going through, but I haven't spent enough time with them or know them well enough to know, hey, bro, what's going on? Talk to daddy about it. Talk to coach about it. Talk to mentor about it. And so I think, even as we always relay things back to the elections, I heard someone say on the television, we just don't trust Senator Clinton. We don't believe her words. And that is fair game, understandable. At times she has done some double talk. And that's why we're saying Bernie or bust. Very good point. I understand it for the common good. I understand the concept of it. But what is the alternative if we don't put this work in for Aiden each and every week? Because it's what we're doing now for the 12-year-old, that when he's 22 or 24, or that when he's 40, or that when he's 30, that when he has children, he will always be able to say, just like I felt in church on yesterday for Mother's Day, that I remember when me and Mama was walking down North Prince Street to go to Joseph Tillis Church at 1925 Ursuline. I know what it's like to go to church. And on Mother's Day, when they bring all the flowers out, and Aiden's going to be able to say now and in the future, I know what that feels like, how Grandpa treated Grandma, and when Aunt T was over, what that commonality meant. And so for us as a people in the collective, I'm not saying that Eileen is a better mama than any other mama, but she's busting her butt every day. And I'm not saying that you need to make a decision to vote because you're upset because there are emotions. But if Corey was emotional, then how can he transfer that emotion into his children and build on a legacy for his 1-year-old kid whose name was Creed, who we love to death? How can we build on the commonality? So there's no distinction between supporting one another within a tough time, loving the people who are around you, or even voting, because all of it is a part of our collective responsibility. And if I can help take care of my nephew and niece as I was growing up, then I can see the individuals that they can come to when their fathers did not do the job that we felt that they should do. And so we can't just let things fall off because, one kid is exceptional and the other kid is going to take a little while. However, we have to get them to success. It is our responsibility in New Orleans. It is our responsibility for black folks. And morally, we're going to have to answer for it one day.
Absolutely. And I'm going to close out with this quote from Robert Kennedy from 1996. It's about what one person can do. Each time a man stands up for an ideal or acts to improve the lot of others or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope and crossing each other from a million different centers of energy and daring. Those ripples build a current which can sweep down the mightiest of oppression and resistance. Y'all, be the change you want to see in the world. This is Money Monday. We will be right back with Kenneth Barnes of KB Enterprises. We're going to get our mind right with our money and also with debt. We're going to give you some tips for that. So I want to thank you, Telly Medina, for being my partner in voting, but in so much more. This is a good life, y'all. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Norman Robinson. New Orleans East Hospital is open and providing quality health care in your neighborhood. The New Orleans East Hospital is bringing our finest physicians into a beautiful new facility where you receive compassionate caring service. Emergency room services at New Orleans East Hospital are some of the best in the region. To learn more, visit our website at noehospital.org. Your health matters to us at New Orleans East Hospital.
Carter Business Development delivers. For businesses to compete, they must have access. Let CBD be your bridge for business development services, radio advertising, social media marketing, brand ambassador, outreach, and access. Contact Carter Business Development at 504-400-7127 or email Eileen@tglradioshow.com. Carter Business Development creates unfolding opportunities. CBD connects the dots from where you are to where you want to be. Join the good life now with Carter Business Development, 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. As quoted, a man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time. Let CBD save you time and give you access. Call 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. Take the steps required for access so you can live the good life too with Carter Business Development. That's 504-400-7127.
Come on and roll with RTA. You're back for more information, and now there's more info at NORTA.com. You can plan your trip ahead of time or on your phone. You can text the stop number to see when the next bus is coming. You can follow New Orleans RTA on Facebook and Twitter. From New Orleans East to the Lower 9, we got you covered. Dirttown, uptown, downtown, to the Algiers Point, and all in between. Rolling for everybody, everywhere. That RTA keeps New Orleans rolling.
Gentili Italian Pie is home to the $5 Family Happy Hour. Specials on pizza, wings, and drinks Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Gentili Italian Pie does fresh for the entire family. Salads, pizza, pasta, wings, and oven-baked sandwiches. Gentili Italian Pie offers lunch and dinner in a new, modern atmosphere surrounded by big screen TVs. Dine in or carry out by calling 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. Relax, have a drink, drink from the fully stocked bar or beer on tap, while your order is made from the freshest ingredients. Gentili Italian Pie, 4706 Paris Avenue, is home where everybody knows your name. So bring the family to Paris and Marabout for the $5 Family Happy Hour, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's Gentili Italian Pie. Dine in or carry out. 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. You gotta try the pie. That's the original Italian pie, located at Paris and Marabout in Gentili.
Are you looking for a job? Ready to start a rewarding career in the hospitality industry? Council member Nadine Ramsey and the New Orleans Convention and Visitors Bureau invite you to a job fair with some of the city's top employers on Tuesday, May 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. Come out to Berman Gymnasium at 2529 General Meyer Avenue for your chance to apply with Harrah's, Creole Cuisine, the Hyatt Regency, Best Restaurant Group, and many more. Application assistance will be available. Join us on Tuesday and find your rewarding job in the hospitality industry.
Hey, it's Chuck Perkins of the Conscious Hour on WBOK 1230 AM, here to tell you about mobile banking at Liberty Bank and Trust Company. You're always on the move, and they're here to keep up and give you the power to manage your own money from the palm of your hand. If you need to check balances, transfer money, or make a few transactions, mobile banking at Liberty Bank allows convenient and secure access to your money. Enroll today at www.libertybank.net and download their mobile app. Mobile bank at Liberty Bank today and keep the power in your hands. Liberty Bank, there's freedom here. FDIC and equal housing lender.
When I got hit in a car accident, the insurance company tried to give me less than I knew I deserved. I called Maurice Reed Jr. He got me $150,000.
I'm Maurice Reed Jr. If you got hit in a car accident, call me, 488-HELP.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Money Monday, and we're here to open your mind. Good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life. We are here on Money Monday. I have my partner in wealth, Kenneth Barnes of KB Enterprises, on the line. Good morning, Kenneth. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am confused.
Why is that?
I was reading Black Enterprise. You know I like to read. And if y'all aren't reading, speaking of reading, do y'all know what's going down this Thursday? Our book club, we're going to be discussing our very first book. It is called The Shack by William Paul Young. If you haven't picked it up, make sure you do. You can get it on your iPad. You can get it on Amazon. It's quicker probably now to get it on your iPad. I think it's a little bit, less expensive as well. But I like to feel and touch the book, so that's just what it is. It is a great book. It is where, basically you meet eternity. And it's one of those books that if you've ever had an experience in your life where you're like, God, why is this happening to me? It is the book that gives you the answer. I'm not kidding. You know how there are no coincidences? There are 3 people who told me about this book. And I was like, yeah. I read the book and I was like, why didn't I read the book before? It is literally one of those life-changing books. Y'all know I don't share stuff if I don't think it's really going to make an impact. So please, make sure that you get the book. William Paul Young, it is The Shack. Even if you don't get the book, please, listen on Thursday. It's one of those really, really heartfelt books that change your life. But if you're going to read it, I want to say, just make sure you follow us on Spreaker.com or on Facebook, The Good Life Radio Show. And, you can tune into the show after to see all of our, tidbits, because I don't want to mess it up. It's one of those times I'm like, oh, listen. No, yeah, listen, always listen, because that is the good life. And speaking of conscious decisions, I was reading Black Enterprise, and it brought up a question, and I was like, things that make you go, felt like it was an Eddie Murphy moment. Do you have a clear money conscience? Kenneth, do you have a clear money conscience? Well, you're different. Do you have a clear money conscience?
I'm definitely money conscious all the time.
You're different. But I wanted to kind of give you a couple of notes from this article, because once I figured out where it was going, it wasn't necessarily where I thought it was going. Listen to this. According to a study, 32% of parents say they sometimes lie to their kids about money. And 47% told their kids they couldn't afford something when they really could. There's another report that finds that 13 million Americans have committed financial infidelity by hiding a bank or credit card account from a partner, spouse, or significant other. Am I touching a nerve this morning? In addition to being the reason for lies, big and small, money is considered a leading cause of divorce. It's a cause of violence and has prompted some to break communication with family and friends. And think about what's going on with Prince. All behind money, y'all. They said somewhere, and this is from Lynn Twist, and she wrote the book, The Soul of Money. So she goes on to say that somewhere along the way, the power that we have given money has outstripped its original utilitarian role. Y'all, money is supposed to be a tool. It is not supposed to be the guiding force of your life. Money isn't bad or good. Money itself doesn't have power. It's our interpretation of money, our interaction with it. It's a real mischief. It's what we find a real opportunity for self-discovery and personal transformation. What is your relationship with money? Kenneth?
Wow.
Open your mind, y'all.
This is mind-blowing, but looking at those numbers and those facts, it's an eye-opener because it's so true. And we all know people that fall in each in one of those categories. It's amazing. Probably know several people. We might be that person.
Right.
We may have that other account with Iberia Bank that nobody don't know about. Put money to the side. We might have been advised that by one of our parents.
Right.
That's the way you're supposed to do it.
Have some on the side.
You always got to you can't let it know let your left hand know what your right hand doing. All these principles causing trouble.
Exactly. But listen, and I'm going back to say that, there's a recent report that finds that 13 million Americans have committed financial infidelity by hiding a bank or credit card account from a partner, spouse, and significant other. How do you think they're going to act when they find out? It's a leading cause. Right. It's a leading cause of divorce, violence, prompted some to break communication with family and friends. I mean, we hear it every day, people stealing for money. It's our relationship with this, with money, y'all. And so according to Swift, who wrote the book, The Soul of Money, there are 3 factors that play into the shadows of our financial behavior that can make us forget our own values. And we need to be alert and aware so we can live the good life. Because I don't want money driving me. I want me to be able to drive the money. It's when that goes reverse. It's not, money isn't bad, y'all. Money isn't bad. It's a great tool. I want more of it. Y'all can play around if you want to. I just love it. But it's when that relationship goes awry and it starts controlling you, then that's when the problem. So I'm going to kind of break down each one, and I'm going to let Kenneth kind of go off on it. So number 1, the thoughts, because y'all know where it all starts. It starts in your mind. The thought that there isn't enough to go around. Yes, there is. We believe and behave as if there's not enough. This mindset in the never-ending treadmill that it puts us on with regard to acquiring money not only undermines any sense of financial well-being, but it's hell on relationships and kills our natural humanity towards others. Once you step into the truth that you are enough and that each one of us has a deep well of power and uniqueness, you'll naturally discover more powerful ways of dealing with your own money. Y'all, there's enough to go around. I promise.
There's There's plenty. There's not a lack of money out here. And what happens is, I really believe, not only there's not a lack of money, the reason why people get a lot more and become crazy wealthy is because they're getting everybody else's share that didn't take the right actions and massive actions to go get their share. So
Yes.
then they're eating theirs.
Look, exactly. They're like, oh, you don't want yours? Then I'm going to take yours too. because we're stuck in the mindset that there's not enough. So we're
That's
hoarding
right.
this little bit, and we're not, and there's something right outside our reach, and we just not reaching for it because we're hoarding this little bit. Because why? Number 2, you think more is better. This lie of scarcity is simply the result of conditioning. Y'all, we have been conditioned. More is better is simply a symptom of a society that has lost its way. She goes on to say that there is nothing wrong with having more, but the mindset of this myth never gives us the satisfaction of looking forward. She adds that when we develop an appreciation of what's there, what we can expand and nourish us and nourish our world, when we let go, beautiful things are waiting for us. Let go of the mindset that just more is better, of just money, because money can't buy you happiness. You can have more money and you can still be miserable. So
That's
change
exactly right.
that relationship. Kenneth, come on now. Is more better?
More is definitely better, because at the end of the day, people may say, well, money doesn't make you happy, or money is root to all evil. The truth is, the more money you have, the more people you can help. Who can you help when you have no money?
Hello. Say that one more time.
If you're broke, who are you going to help? So you're no good to no one, yourself or anybody around you. So more is better, because the more you have, the more you can actually help other people, but also help provide a different way of living for your family. So more is always better.
And then it's funny how the more you get and the more that you help others, the more that it comes back around. Isn't that amazing, Kenneth?
That's how it works. We see it every day, even in our ministries. The people who have more, they can do more for the ministry. They can actually help grow the ministry through finances in their tithes and offerings. We see this principle all the time. A lot of people that's wealthy, their charitable donations to a lot of foundations and nonprofits is what keeps those nonprofits going.
Absolutely, because without them, we'd all be sideways. Every one of us has been touched by some organization at some point in our lives, whether you're conscious of it or unconscious of it. You have been. You've been helped by someone. And so
That's
it's,
right.
Putting that back into the cycle of, giving back. And then it comes right back to you. Stop living in scarcity. It's a lie, y'all. The devil is a lie. It's a lie. Because this is what they try to make you think, that, that's just the way it is. No, it's not. This is the third principle. It's not just the way it is. It's a myth that holds you in place. It allows us to not ask questions if you think, that's just the way it is. How many times, we're talking about money, but this is so many different aspects of your life. That's just the way it is. No, it's not. That's the way you've been conditioned to think. There's a sense of resignation when you think that way. There's a buy-in, and we literally give up on pushing back against the real causes of our troubles because there's unrealistic fears of lack and scarcity. It's not just the way it is. Open your mind to living differently in the world. When you have more, you can do more, and we can create a different community. Oh my gosh, social responsibility, community responsibility. We can give back. Y'all see how this works out with one another? Open your mind, y'all. Let's engage in practices that change our way of being. You can try new practices, i.e. like saving, budgeting, investing. You can make your spending intentional and deliberate. And most important, you can design a vision for your life that reflects your own definition of prosperity, behaving in ways that nurture your relationships, create financial security, and clear your financial conscience. And if you can't do it yourself, I know a certain person that can help you with this. Kenneth Barnes.
Absolutely. And I'm a big component of all these principles right here, because it's no accident. People are not lucky. They are doing certain things with that 24 hours that's different from other people. And some of those myths you hit on there where there's not enough and things like that, it's a pattern. So that same mindset is the same ones that's saying my vote don't count. It's the same group. It's always the same group. So what happens is that you're going to either get them to see something differently or get away from them because they are toxic.
Exactly. And what do I tell you? I am allergic to negative people. So what we're going to do right here on Money Monday, we don't just talk. We're going to walk it. So our next segment, we're going to give you 5 ways to reduce your debt. Look, change your mindset, y'all. We're going to give you 5 ways to reduce your debt because that is the good life. So we're not just going to drop the seed. We're going to give you ways to water it and grow. So make sure you stay tuned. I'm here with Kenneth Barnes of KB Enterprises, and that is the good life. We'll be right back, y'all.
Are you satisfied with your current financial position? My name is Kenneth Barnes, President and CEO of KB Enterprises, where we specialize in putting together step-by-step financial action steps for your plan for today and for tomorrow. Whether you're 50 to 85 and need assistance with your final expenses, we have coverage options for every situation. Let us put life back into your finances. Call us today at 504-914-1202. That's 504-914-1202.
Reggae returns to New Orleans with the Roots Reggae Culture Fest. Father's Day weekend, June 18th and 19th at Tad Gormley Stadium. In the shade. June 18th and 19th, Father's Day weekend. Reggae returns to New Orleans. Get ready for the Roots Reggae Culture Fest. The Roots Reggae Culture Fest. Sponsored by Kush Herbal Blunt Wrap and Rolling Along Productions. Featuring the sounds and rhythms of Third World. Richie Spice. I Wayne and many more. Such as local reggae artist Ambush, the Shepherd Band 2, Higher Heights, and Ben Hunter. Brought to you by Kush Herbal Blunt Wrap and Rolling Along Productions. For tickets or information, log on to rrcfest.com.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
Jazz in the Park is back this and every Thursday at Armstrong Park. Jazz in the Park is known for food, music, and fun with artists such as Rockin' Dupsy, Kermit Ruffins, Tank and the Bangers, and more, featuring a second-line band and high school marching bands. The fun lasts from 4 to 8, so come out and enjoy our food and drink vendors along with the kids section. Presented by People United for Armstrong Park, this is a free concert, so no outside food or drink allowed. Be sure to like us on Facebook, and for more information, visit armstrongpark.org.
Carter Business Development delivers. For businesses to compete, they must have access. Let CBD be your bridge for business development services, radio advertising, social media marketing, brand ambassador, outreach, and access. Contact Carter Business Development at 504-400-7127 or email Eileen@tglradioshow.com. Carter Business Development creates unfolding opportunities. CBD connects the dots from where you are to where you want to be. Join the good life now with Carter Business Development, 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. As quoted, a man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time. Let CBD save you time and give you access. Call 504-400-7127, 504-400-7127. Take the steps required for access so you can live the good life too with Carter Business Development. That's 504-400-7127.
Control of rats, mice, and commercial vertebrate pests requires much more than setting traps and placing poison bait in a desired area. Unless you eliminate food, water, and harborage, after blockage and structural exclusion, your problem will return. At Rodent Guard Pest Control, we are trained to change the environment of the rodent. Call 504-952-7378. We have earned our name by reducing the rodent population and eliminating harborage opportunities. We have programs for preventive maintenance and provide rodent assessments. Rodent Guard, 504-952-7378. Licensed to exterminate. For WBOK listeners, we offer a discount opportunity if you mention promo code 952-PEST.
When I got hit in a car accident, the insurance company tried to give me less than I knew I deserved. I called Maurice Reed Jr. He got me $150,000.
I'm Maurice Reed Jr. If you got hit in a car accident, call me, 488-HELP.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on Money Monday, and we're here to open your mind. We are back on Money Monday, and I am here with my partner, Kenneth Barnes of KB Enterprises. We have talked about, being money conscious, but not in the way that you thought, just being honest about your money. People like to hide it here, there, and everywhere, get the lack of scarcity out your system and get a true relationship with money, because unless you have that true relationship, it's not really going to work out, is it, Kenneth? Because you always kind of fall back to old tendencies unless you actually acknowledge that they exist.
That's exactly right, because we got decades of this junk that's been put into our mind, most of the time from people who didn't understand how money worked themselves. So we're talking about unlearning is way more challenging a lot of times than developing a new habit, because you're wrestling with decades of junk.
Yes, I know. I don't know if any of you all have heard of The Secret, but there's a book and a movie, and it came out years ago, and it's one of those things that changed my life about, the law of attraction and changing your thoughts and watching just the way that you think about things. Like, instead of I'm going to be late, being like, I'm going to be on time. Just changing your thought process can literally change your life. So one of the stories on there was talking about this gentleman with his relationship with money, because his father used to always say that money was hard and it didn't come easily. And it was, you had to work hard for your money. And he was like, no, it's not. Money comes easily and accessibly. Money comes easily and accessibly. But how hard? But when you think that in your mind, you're like, no, it's not. You're like having a fighting battle in your mind. But it's really taking those steps. If you say it enough, you start to believe it for yourself. So that's really what we mean about changing your thought processes, because that can change your life. So with one of those ways, Kenneth is always talking about, reducing your debt. Debt may seem like an eternal mountain to some, especially at this time of year. We have a lot of college age schools, number one, seniors, and y'all know what those senior fees felt like. And now these children are going off to college, and then now they have to understand what their debt looks like. Like, oh my goodness. But I want to say, I got to give a shout out to Aiden School, because his homework last night, so Kenneth, we're doing his homework, and so he had to do a PowerPoint on a car that he wanted to buy between $20,000 and $80,000. Of course, he chooses a $79,000, $664 car. And because I'm sitting there, watching him do his PowerPoint, make sure, it's good and stuff. It was a Corvette Stingray, right? And so what they had to do is they had to compare, if they bought this car with a 3-year loan at 2.5%, what the interest would be and what they would pay off in its entirety in 3 years, or if they had bought the car for a 5-year at 4% interest. And then they had to, put on, and then they have to describe on why you should purchase it in a different time frame, and they, looking at final numbers. And I was like, this is real stuff. But how many times have we been able to apply real life stuff, and how much debt you would be in for that amount of years if you aren't taking care of what you need to take care of? So it was a really good lesson in life, and so I really appreciated it. And he was like, dang, so if I buy this and the interest rate changes this and makes it this much more? Yes, it does.
Wow.
But a lot of people don't realize that, and they get into what? Debt. Exactly. So no matter how great the obstacle of debt may seem, you can have victory over your bills and liabilities. Sometimes the greatest challenge is just knowing where to start. And that's why we have Kenneth Barnes of KB Enterprises to teach us some ways to chisel down our debt this year. So I'm going to prompt him with it and let's let him go. Kenneth, number 1, stop overspending? Really? Imagine that.
I was in Lakeside on Saturday, and I saw a bunch of overspenders, and it was unbelievable because I said these people shouldn't be spending this kind of money this type of weekend, and they would justify, it's Mother's Day weekend. I know.
Right.
I know it's Mother's Day weekend because I could create a holiday this weekend. I could make up a holiday, Halloween, and say this weekend is going to kick off the first annual I want to enjoy myself festival. And so we can always find a reason to spend money, but then our priorities got to be right because you can't go broke every holiday because guess what's going to happen after Mother's Day? There's another holiday coming right behind it, Memorial Day.
Father's
Then
Day.
It's Father's Day. Then it's July 4th.
Wait, but everybody has to graduate first. You got to buy everybody a present, right?
Oh, yeah. So it's always something that's going to cost. So we got to know this, which we can have it work for us or against us. This is the good thing about all these holidays and the benefits of our country that we have. You can have periods that you can grind and then have reward. Grind, then reward. So I would set myself up where I would put my nose to the ground and don't come up for air till it's that time. So if it's graduation, you're not going to talk to me too much because I'm grinding. And then I've earned it. So when it's time for the graduation or Memorial Day weekend, I'm going to ball a little bit. But I didn't put my money up. I didn't make my money, but I didn't go broke either. I've been wise with my money.
And then you don't have the guilt.
That's right. Or credit cards, minimum payment.
Or the credit card debt. Y'all, number 1, stop overspending. Number 2, Kenneth loves this one. Create a budget ledger. Kenneth, how important? Budgets?
Very important. And at the end of the day, a lot of times we want to be smart about how we budget our money because you can get deals. Shop for deals for a lot of things. Look at Amazon, the different ways you can save or get that same polo shirt or that same dress at TJ Maxx or Marshalls. You would go to Saks Fifth Avenue and just pay a ton of money for. So let's be smart about it. Have a budget. You can treat yourself, but do it within a budget. But make sure you pay yourself first or taking care of your finances first because Saks is all right. TJ Maxx is all right. Watch their stock. They're doing well.
So how often should we be checking our budget? I know, you know, a monthly budget, but how often should we be going back to it?
If you can't do every other day or something like that, just do once a
really?
week. I would do on a Sunday while you relax a little bit.
That's not relaxing.
What happened over the
it has to be a Saturday. God told me to rest on Sunday. I'm going to make it Saturday. When I'm spending all the money at the grocery store.
So what happens is you want to do it in a relaxed environment. Kick your feet up, have a little fresh tea or some coffee, relax with it. That way you can have a clear head, you kind of de-stress, and you can take it a little bit better and kind of make better decisions. Because if you're doing it when you already got the homework you got going on, you just had a rough day after work, and you just got a bunch of stuff going on, now you're looking at that budget, you're in a different mind frame. Then when you're kind of kicked back a little bit, chilling in beautiful weather, go on your patio, relax a little bit, and listen to some music. Then take a look at it and say, okay, this is what it is. You're in a lot calmer state.
Because it's better to know than to not know. Because how can you do anything about it if you're ignorant of what it is? Correct?
That's right. Absolutely.
Okay, you're like twisting people's arms right now. But number 3, prioritize. You know, everyone doesn't agree on the best strategy for this, but some say start with the debt that has the highest interest rate. Others say choose the smallest debt. What do you think? If there was a best practice, what have you seen work the best? I mean, everything's going to work for different people, but what has worked?
Yeah, I would definitely recommend going maybe after the smallest things, small victories. Small victories at the beginning. Get the confidence up. Because when you win a little bit, for example, I played basketball, I played a lot of sports growing up, but I remember, when we used to warm up a lot of times, especially playing high school ball, I would shoot close to the rim just to see the ball go in, or even hit some layups. Just to see that ball go to the net would help me, and then I'll back it up to the free throw line, and then push back. And so you want small victories, and the confidence now up, your swag's up, and now you're ready to take on some bigger stuff.
All right. So be systematic, but while we're systematic, we can't forget to take care of all the other debts too, right?
That's right. That's exactly right.
Okay, number 4, setting goals. They say as people, we're motivated by achievement, so give ourselves goals to mark on our calendar, like we've done this for so long. How important is it for us to set goals when we're reducing our debt?
Well, that's important, because right now you want to look at, you have to challenge yourself and make it a challenge. It's even better when it's a family challenge. For example, I'm doing a new 90-day challenge. Today is day 1. And I want to increase my goals of revenue to get rewards based on that. But also, I have fitness goals within that 90 days. And part of that is doing my affirmations, like you mentioned in the morning. I got away from these strong affirmations that I had, and I found it on the refrigerator in the back of my daughter's homework and all her other stuff that she's kind of combined to my little clipboard right there. I found those affirmations. I'm like, man, why did I get away from this?
Mm-hmm.
Those
you tell us
affirmations
one?
are so great. So now, day 1, I got my affirmations. Day 1, I got my goals financially. Day 1, I got my goals fitness-wise. I got my meal prep done on yesterday. And so it feels good to have those small things.
Can you share one of your affirmations with us?
Yes. I have multi-million-dollar wire transfers and checks coming into my mailbox.
Hello, I like that. Wait, say that again. I have multi-million-dollar wires, transfers, and checks coming into my mailbox and bank account?
And my bank account every day.
Every day. Every doggone day. Now, that's the good life. Hello, Kenneth. I need you to text that to me so I can repeat that. That might be one that we repeat every day. I like that.
Absolutely.
Every day. And last but not least, number 5, we promised we were giving you 5. Make more money. It may sound silly, but when people find that when they're not honestly looking at their lives, they're not maximizing their opportunities. Sometimes there's an opportunities that's just one step away. Maximize your opportunities to make more money. Kenneth?
That's huge. Remember a couple of weeks ago when I had the worst interview in the world, when they were talking against working a second job. You have to get your grind on. You have to get your grind on. It don't happen by luck. If you're waiting on luck, it ain't going to happen. So at the end of the day, I'm all about whatever it takes to make some extra money. And if you see people that are successful, they're doing it. And I wish I would have had these principles when I was young. But I remember working for Radiophone selling beepers, Eileen, and there was a kid came in at 13 years old, had nice money put in his account. He came with his mom because he wasn't old enough to get a beeper, but he needed a way for his clients to get in contact with him. He cut grass. So he's 12 to 13 years old. He's making a couple of $1,000s a month because he's cutting grass. And then he started hiring some of his other 12-year-old friends to work for him. So they're cutting some yards on one block. He had the other ones. And who wouldn't give him their business when he's putting his flyers out? Who's not respecting him? Even if I was going to spend that 20, was cut my own, I would rather spend my 20 because I like that you're 12 years old. You approach me with your business card and your flyer, and I want to see you do well. Right. So I wish I had that mindset, but that's something that anybody can really do right now outside of your job. To get a little part-time hustle like that, cutting grass over the summer, that's good money in that. Or work a part-time job somewhere in the evening, do some consulting work. Look at a friend. They may need some help at their restaurant. Say, you know what, I'll come wait tables in the evening. That's cash every day, Eileen. You come home with about $50, $65
that
in
adds
cash
up.
and tips. That adds up away from your other job. So you're looking at $50 5 days a week. That's an extra $250, $1,000 a month, $1,000 a year. Who don't want an extra 12 G's in their account right now?
I do. So the tips for today to get out of debt are: number 1, stop overspending. If you want to eradicate debt, stop spending all your money. Number 2, create a ledger, because if you don't know where it's going, you can't make any real gains. Number 3, prioritize. You know, Kenneth has said start with some of the smaller ones so you can feel like you're making progress. Number 4, set goals. Give yourselves goals, you know, monthly, quarterly, yearly, so that you can see the debt going down. And last but not least, open your mind to living differently in the world. Find a way to make more money. You can do it. Open your mind. Thank you, Kenneth, from KB Enterprises, for everything you do. Thank you for being my partner in wealth, because that is a good life. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for Relationship Tuesday. It will be our part 2 of Put Some Respect on My Name. We're going to talk about respect in relationships. Make sure you stay tuned. This is Good Life.